Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. Picked up a couple of new toys. I know I'm one to do garden tractors and stuff like that, but I picked up a couple of new tillers. I'm guessing they're from the 70s, maybe late 60s. The Cyclone over to the left, they're both Briggs & Stratton motors, but this one over here is a Simplicity, and that one's a Cyclone. I've never heard of Cyclone before. They're both 3-horse. That one's a 3-horse, that one's a 3.5 horse. This one over here I'm guessing is from the 60s. I've never seen a tiller like this before with the sideways motor. I can't remember what it's called. I found them both. My neighbor, I was at the neighbor's and I was talking to him, and he was telling me about the tillers. He's got them. He was planning on getting rid of them. And I asked him, well, how much do you want for him? He said, I'll $50 for him. I said, let me run home and I'll get the wagon. I'll come back and I'll get him. So I came back, got the wagon, and I had to make 2 trips. My wagon is, I don't know if I've ever shown my wagon before. My wagon is old and it is falling apart. This is my wagon right here. Had to make 2 trips. Yes, it is bent. Before anybody's wondering, the front axle is bent and the tires do rub. It's rough, but it does get the job done. I think I gotta look for something bigger too. So anyway, these are my tillers, my new toys. Haven't messed with them yet. Haven't checked if they have fuel in them or not. Haven't checked the oil or anything. I did feel around a little bit on the air filters. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but the one's kind of interesting. So let's go on ahead and make sure they pull over. The guy had said that, well, my neighbor said that this one ran. I know this one runs. I've seen it and heard it run. He's used it to till his garden and hadn't really had any problems with it. So I know this one runs. This one over here, on the other hand, it did run at one point, but it doesn't anymore for whatever reason. So we're going to pull it apart and we're going to find out what the deal is with it. We're going to pull them both apart, clean the carburetors in them. I've got the ultrasonic cleaner warming up. Well, I should probably turn it back on. I was doing some work on the 68. I didn't film it, but let this warm up here quick so it's ready to go when we end up wanting to do that. Anyway, was doing some more work on the 68. It's been acting funny again. It's pissing oil out everywhere. I didn't film it, so there's not going to be a video on that, unfortunately. But this is what I got right here, 2 tillers. I kind of not sure what I want to do with them. This one needs to be a little bit taller. I think it needs bigger wheels. I might swap the wheels around. I plan on keeping this one. This one I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep it or I'm going to get rid of it. We got to pull them apart, see what one's better. We got to check the belts on them. I'm not 100% sure how big the belt is. This one's got a forward. This right here is where you set how fast you want to go. This is forwards, then neutral. It doesn't have a reverse. This right here is how you make it go forwards. I like the setup on that one better. I don't like having to hold that down and have it work. Here's your throttle. I had almost thought about, since I have rear lift linkage now on the Sioux 16, if we were to make one of these into something to hook up to the tractors and pull them around, till a garden with, put them on a sleeve hitch, lift and lower them. They do make tillers for the tractors, but I think one of these would be a little bit cooler. And plus, you don't have to run a belt to it and a mule drive and all this and that. So, what do you guys think? Should I do that? It'd probably be pretty easy to do. They've already got wheels on them. I'd lift them, then I'd pull them around, drop them. And there they go. Had to put some weight on them, but that's what I've got. I'm gonna put you guys up in the stand and we'll go on ahead and start tearing into the tillers. The killer tillers. Let's go on ahead and check compression. I did pull them over, but just to make sure they weren't seized. I don't know how much compression they've got. Let's go on ahead and pull them over here quick and see how they do. I would say this one should be okay. That one should run. Let's check this one out. The only problem with this one is that I gotta move it. It's ready? This one seems kind of on the low side. I would say this one's kind of on the low side, but I think it should work. They're only 3 horsepower motors, so I think they should be all right. Let's go on ahead. We will pull them apart. Let's check for spark. And these are the older Briggs, so if we have to pull them apart, the points are underneath the flywheel, which really sucks. Air compressor's going. That scared me. So let's go on ahead and what do you guys want to start with? Do you want to start with the Cyclone or do you want to start with the Simplicity? I'm hearing the Simplicity. Let's go on ahead and do the Simplicity. We'll put the Cyclone over to the side. I'd put them up on the lift, but I'm out of propane, so can't use the forklift. Let's go on ahead and we will start on the Simplicity. Let's go on ahead and pull the plug. You can tell a lot by pulling out a plug and inspecting it. So let's see what's... Went and grabbed my small socket. I'm not quite sure if it'll fit this or not, but we'll see. No, it won't. Oh, wait. Holy hell, that's loose. Huh. That's not good. That's got a... Oh, that looks rough. So it does fit in the socket. It was loose. That's going to need to be cleaned. Can you guys see that? You can tell it looks rough. I can't get it to blur. That's it right there. It is rough. The gap on it looks alright. It seems like it was running rich. I mean, when I say rich, I mean getting way too much gas. I'd be surprised if we even get spark out of that plug. I may have to put another one in. Let's go on ahead, find somewhere to put it. Right, or somewhere the camera can see it. Right there. Can you guys see that? Well, okay, let's just leave it like that for now, I guess. Let's see if it'll throw spark out or if it's going to be a knocker. Ready? Let's see. Yep. Oh yeah. She's got spark. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but she's got spark. So, I'm still kind of tempted to go on ahead and pull the points. But I think we should be alright. Let's check the oil here quick. Let's see. Do I want to put... No, let's clean this plug off real quick. Let me go clean the plug and then we'll put it back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Let's go on ahead and put this in here. And we'll tighten it down. We're going to make sure it's on there a lot tighter than it was. It didn't take anything to break that plug loose. So let me get that on there and then we will break it. There we go, right there. Okay, that's about as tight as it should be. Right here. Let's check for oil here quick. I'm guessing it's probably going to have the original oil in it, because usually they do. I know it might have the original filter on it. There's a possibility it does. Ready? This is for the engine or is this for the trans? I guess it's for the motor. Oh well, that ain't good. That smells like engine oil. Do I see oil in there? Yes, I do. hear gas. That's not good. So, okay. There's no drain plug on here. It looks like it's got oil in it, so yeah, see? So odd smell. We're going to be washing this off, that's for sure. This thing's a mess. Let's get the cleaned off. Once we get, we're not going to pressure wash it now, obviously. It's not even. Been pulling at it for a little while. It doesn't seem to want to start, so I'm going to pull that air filter off and see. I haven't seen any mice fly out of it yet, so I don't think anything's living in it right now, but you really never know, I guess, unless you look. I'm hoping these aren't head bolts. Oh, it's got a split. I see. This is rusted to that. No, it's not. Okay, that'll come out. Who wants to bet this is the original air filter that this came with from the factory? Ready? Oh yeah, that is. So we're going to want to replace that. Yeah, it's going to need to be replaced. How does this work? That's your choke. I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess that's the choke, but it isn't. Let's stop. We have it at idle now. Let's see if it'll start. Cover that. Filter back on it real quick. Cool. Sounds real good. I'm going to put it outside here quick and just let it run for a while, let it burn off whatever fuel's in it. When we bring it back, we'll put it in the carburetor cleaner, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now we are on to the next one. As you can see, we're going to go on ahead. I think we've got the one sitting out there running. I want to check the air filter first, real quick. Let's see how it looks. Is there a choke on? Neither of them seem to have a choke. These are loose. And I mean loose. So I think this is the original air filter that came with it. Well, that air filter doesn't look bad. It could be replaced, but I mean, it doesn't look all that bad. So we'll put this, oh, look at that, it does have a choke. How do you activate the choke? Does this have a, yeah it does, see? Chokes itself. Okay, I see how it works now. And look at that, right there is how you change your filter. Cool. It does seem that at one point someone did change it. Hear it? Hear it out there. Oh, rough. Let's just leave that off there for now. We might as well. Let's go ahead and check the oil on this. Whether it's got a dipstick or not, I don't know. I would think it does, but let's see here. What's side is the oil. Not quite sure how this works. How this setup here works. I've never seen one like it before. Hopefully this one's got a dipstick. Oh boy. Dipstick's broke. It's got oil. Both of them are going to need new oil and new tops. That's for sure. Let's go on ahead and check it. It seems to have, I don't know if it's got enough oil in it or not, but I'm going to say it does. Because it was right on that, and I'm guessing it's got to be up all the way for it to be. God, that thing runs rough. I don't know if you guys hear it or not, but that's the Rototiller. I have it sitting outside running. Let's go on ahead and check it for spark. It appears that someone's replaced this at one point. Here's your, I don't want to break it. There we go. I've had too many of these things break. That plug just looks awful. Is this the right size or do I need a bigger one? Let me go grab a bigger one real quick. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I did end up finding the socket. The socket we need is 3/4. I don't know why the other sockets didn't want to work, but this one does. So let's pull the plug. See how this motor's been running. I'm gonna guarantee they're probably running oil. Wow, look at that. That plug actually doesn't look bad. I would say that plug looks pretty good. Let me go on ahead and clean it off a little bit and then we'll check for spark. Okay, let's go on ahead and check it for spark. I'm gonna guess no spark. This just looks real rusty. I'm guessing it was right there. There you go. Let's see if she's got spark or not. I'm gonna go on ahead and say no. But we'll see. Ready? Let's go on ahead and start. No spark. So, I'm going to assume it is possible that this needs cleaned up. I wonder if we were to clean that up, if it would have spark. I do kind of want to pull the points and see, well, never messed with one of these before. I don't really know how they go together. Well, we can figure it out. So let's go on ahead and I'm going to pull that actually, and I'm going to clean that boot up and see if that cleaning it up helps any. So let's go on ahead and bend this. I'm going to hope I don't break it. Ready? Let's see. Hopefully we don't break this. When you unbend it, go easy on it. Don't do crazy stuff. Okay. Ready? That was probably the worst thing I could do. All right, let's go on ahead and we'll wire wheel that. Let's go on ahead and pull this. Well, let's go on ahead and wire wheel this. Put it on 1 so it's not fast. You just want it to. I would say that looks a lot better than it did. Let's see if it has spark now, since we've cleaned it up. If it doesn't, then I'm going to go on ahead and say that points are bad. They need to be cleaned. Ready? No spark. No spark. So, let's go on ahead and see if it'll throttle. If it'll throttle, we'll take it out and we'll do some tilling with it. It needs the carburetor cleaned, that end adjusted. Ready? bit of a creep to it. Let's go on ahead and do some tilling, see how it does. Now I know what you're all going to say, the ground is frozen and it's rocky, but for shits and giggles, this is the only spot I can really till up. But for shits and giggles, let's go on ahead and see how it does. If it'll till it, it's a good tiller. If it doesn't, then well, something ain't right. We're going to adjust the carburetor on it anyway. Let's see how it does. I like it. I think it did a pretty good job. I didn't go very deep because of the rocks, but I went deep enough to test it, and it did pretty good. This is what I want it to. So let's go on ahead and take it back inside, and we'll do some adjusting on it. We brought the tiller in. Let's go on ahead. I'm not sure whether I want to clean the carburetor or try adjusting it first. See if we can get it to run better. I think we may just go on ahead and adjust it. We may just go on ahead and clean it. We got the ultrasonic there warming up right now. It's about there. Stick it up on the lift for you guys to see, but I don't have propane. We got a Bobcat. Let me get everything off the bench real quick. We'll put it up there. Did some research last night. It's the next day for anybody wondering. I did some research last night, and I think I figured I have a 70% idea on how this carburetor works. So the way it works is this is your carburetor right here. Now notice there's no float bowl or anything on there. The way it works is there's actually a couple of lines that go down into the fuel tank. One that goes all the way down here. You can see it right here. There's this little bowl right here. It goes all the way down and it sucks every last bit of fuel it can out of here. Now, and then there's another one. There's a little cavity here inside the gas tank. I think it would be right here. And it goes down into the gas tank right, I would say roughly here. And you'll notice on this carburetor there's no float bowl. The reason there's no float bowl is the little cavity right here acts as your float bowl, okay? So this here, it sucks fuel up through this line up into the carburetor and it spits it out into here. You can consider it as an intake and return, but instead of returning it, it puts it in this bowl. And when the bowl fills over, it does dump it back into the fuel tank. But there's a little pump inside of here, and it's drawn by crankcase. I want to call that crankcase vent. There's a vent on your crankcase. When the piston goes up, this draws in fuel. There's a little fuel pump. I think it's on this side. Yeah, right there. There's a little fuel pump right there on this side, and when the piston goes up, it pulls in, okay? And then over here, your fuel pump pulls fuel in. I'm not 100% sure how the fuel pump works yet. I'm still looking into that one. But the fuel pump, there's a spring in there, and I think the spring is what does it. And then the fuel gets pulled up into the carb, and it gets the air mix, and it goes into the combustion chamber, and it blows up. So back to this. This is your float bowl right here. It fills up. Now, one way to test it and see if you got a bad fuel pump, you can fill your gas tank up all the way to the top. I don't recommend doing this all the time. but it'll run. Just don't do it all the time. You fill it, I would fill it up about right here. Maybe right to there. Because it's going to suck every bit of fuel out. But anyway, so one way to test your fuel pump is you fill it up all the way to the top. And if it runs, that means that means your carb's not plugged. Excuse me. But if it shuts down once it gets below this bowl, that means that your fuel pump's bad and you got to replace it. Or you may not be getting crankcase pressure. So what I think I'm going to do, and the main jet, I think it's this one right here. I think this is your air fuel mix. And there's another mix under here that allows the air to come in. I think this is your air fuel mix. I don't see the, I don't think that one's it. I think it's up there somewhere. But this is your air fuel mix, and then right behind there is your main jet. It's a lot different than a modern carburetor, but it's just much better setup than a modern day carburetor. I like this setup because you don't have to worry about your fuel lines. But the problem with this is this tank is metal. Metal rusts. So you got to be careful about that. Let me go over to the whiteboard and I'll draw something up and I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick. Not sure how well you guys can see it, but this is the diagram I drew up of the fuel tank. This right here, like I was saying, this is your pickup tube that pulls fuel up into the carburetor, and it would be over here bigger. This is the carburetor right here, and I ran a little line over here to it so you can see that it goes into the carburetor. When it gets picked up and goes through, it dumps back down into this. This is your float bowl. There's no float in there, needle or anything. It just sucks it back up through the same tube that drops it in. I'm pretty sure there may be a thing up here that puts it in there and this just sucks it into the motor. And then there's a crankcase breather back there in the fuel pump. But this is how your gas tank works for anybody who's wondering how. And I've got everything labeled. Right there's your float bowl and here's your pickup tube. Both of them are made out of plastic. I'd pull the carburetor off the rototiller and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but here's the problem. I don't think that carburetor will fit because it's got those pickup tubes. I could put it in there, but I don't want to, I'd have to have the top off of it, which I don't know if it'll clean the same with the top off or not. We could experiment with that, but I don't really think they need cleaned. It needs to be, well, I guess we could pull it off there and get a good look at it. So I guess we'll go on ahead and we'll pull the carburetor off of there and start working on it. For those of you wondering, yes, I did figure out how to get the balls. I figured it out how to get this thing to work. I did not realize this top cover, this actually comes off of here. I'm not sure how to do it now. I did loosen this, by the way, and I will show you how. But I got this off. This cover comes off, and you could put the balls back into the 6 things. There's 5 on here. And then this, the way it works is this spins as the motor spins like this. This goes up into your pool. And then when you pull on the string, you can see it's like a ratchet. It locks up one way and it'll spin free the other, as you can see. Oh shit. Well, I think I just lost my balls. Okay, so I ended up finding most of my balls. I'm still missing 2. I don't know where the other 2 went. I'm kind of looking for them as I go. So we're gonna go on ahead and pop this flywheel off. Now, if you're wondering how to get the little cup off, you put something in here to pry on. You don't want to break your fins. And I put some channel locks on there and I just twisted it until it started coming loose. And then this will just come right off. Actually, this wasn't very hard to get off there earlier either. I did take and I wire wheeled the magnets on this and the coil. It didn't seem to help any, so we're going to go on ahead and just pull the what's it called? The point cover. We're going to see if we can. It did sit outside for about a year. Let's go look at that. try spinning over the motor. They don't look bad. We can put a piece of paper in there or something to try to see if they move or not. I think, where's the points? Is that, that's it right there. They're not closed all the way. Let me grab a wrench. Let's see if an 11/16 will go on here. Oh, well it will. How convenient. Look at that. It's not very good, but it goes on there and spins it. You don't want to lose that key. Okay, there we go. So right there, they were closed. So they're opening like they should, but they're not sparking at all. Well, dumbass, obviously they're not sparking. They're missing the, there was a wire I saw under here actually. It was right here, this one. What does this go to? I think this is a kill wire. This is your, this is your throttle. This is fast, this kills it. That grounds out on that right there. Not quite sure what this wire goes to, but now I'm curious because it goes into the points. I think this might be the kill wire. I'm thinking it might be the kill wire. Trying to see where it would hook up. It's got to go somewhere. This stops the motor. It touches right there. I wonder. I don't want to. We may. It actually doesn't look bad under here, so I don't want to mess anything up. I do want this wire. So right here's kill. When we bring the wire, there's no crimp or anything under here, is there? No. We'd have to run this somewhere else to kill it, or what we could do. Well, I don't think it's really going to matter because as long as it's not grounding, it's not going to kill it. So, let me grab a piece of paper real quick, or preferably an index card and clean the points. Okay, so I went there and I found a slip of paper. Let's go on ahead and see if we can clean the points with it. What is this? This is different. Oh shit. This is different than the tractors. I don't want to break them. See if we can get this to come back up. Oh shit. Well, we fucked something up. There we go, we got it. Okay. God, that could have been bad. Let's get this cleaned up. Well, I had a better idea. Let's get our wrench. We'll spin it over and then I feel like something's not right with these points. Right there. I don't know how much they're open. We know it shuts. There we go. We may end up wanting to just grab some sandpaper and do it. There we go. Okay, let's try that. I wonder if that fixed it or not. They look a lot better. They're not green, so I mean, they're kind of on the loose side, aren't they? I don't want to have to readjust them, but something about them just does not seem right. I might have screwed them up earlier. Well, I don't know what gap these are supposed to go at. Throw the cover back on it, I guess, and then we'll tighten them down, keep an eye open. Okay, so now the battery has a new the camera has a new battery. Let's go on ahead and put the points cover back on here. Get these bolts pulled out. I'm hoping it'll work. If it doesn't, we may need new points, which I don't really want to do that. We could probably run it without the cover, but might as well put it back on just in case if it ends up working. I don't want to pull it back apart and then, well, I don't want to pull it apart and then end up having it work. Got to pull it back apart, put it all back together, then have it not work. So I think this way would be better off. There we go. That's tight. Plus, I think this grounds it. I'm pretty sure. There we go. Okay, let's go on ahead. Put the flywheel back on it. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to clean these up a little bit here? Okay. Well, what is that? This has the wind style governor on it. The one that runs off the fan. I don't think I've ever had a motor like that before. Okay, why is that rubbing? Hold on a minute. Why is that rubbing now all of a sudden? What is it rubbing? Why that was rubbing? Seems to want to go on there now. Hold on a minute. What are we rubbing? It would seem. Do these move? Did our coil move? It would appear. I have it on there. Shift it. What is it rubbing at? Well, here's one thing we could do. And there ain't. Something stupid like that. Oh, I think I see what the deal is. It's probably once it gets on there, it should be. Yeah, now it works. Okay. Spark. Oh, cool. We got spark. So I guess that's all it needed, because I looked and now we don't have very good spark, but we do have spark again, so that's good. So maybe now it'll run. Let's put this back on here and try not to lose any more balls. Shit. Oh God. That could be bad. Okay. Put that on there. Second pot. We got 4 currently. I like to keep it that way. There we go. Okay. Put that on there. Well, as long as it's working. Oh. Yeah, set it in this. There we go. Okay. Show you guys how I tighten these down, or how I figured out how to tighten them down. That's cool though, now it's running. But we'll have to find a way to kill it. Can't do that, that's rubbing on the shaft. There is these little fins underneath you could grab on, but never really had good luck grabbing them. I want to tighten it. That way's tight. Don't use these aluminum fins. Try to use these steel ones, because the aluminum ones will bust. I have not experimented with that before. Don't ask. They do make a tool for doing this, but I don't have the tool because I'd have never had these motors come in here before. So you can tell I'm new at the game. I personally like this setup over the newer style setups. This will outlast any of them. You want to make sure that's on there tight. I think it's on there pretty tight now to the point where it can go nowhere. And this is on there too, right? The only play it has is in the shaft. So let's go on ahead and we'll put this back together and we'll see if it runs. I'm really curious. If it doesn't run, then we got something other than spark. Could be. The fuel in them both seemed okay, so I don't think it's our fuel. But you never know. I may end up going ahead and put a new plug on this one. What do you guys think? Do you think it'll run this way, or should I try to find those other balls? I think it might be okay. Like this. I don't want to leave it like that permanently. I want to find those other two balls. Where they went. I went back to the camera and I checked to see if I could find where they went, and the camera didn't even show it, so that really sucks. Well, let me go on ahead and see if I can find those. If not, we'll put it on there like it is, I guess. Go on ahead and see if it'll run. I've got to put it slow. Ready? Nope. I don't want to put it at fast. It's got a self-choke. Oh, I see what the deal is. That's touching. Ready? Let's try that. Nope. Still not. She's being defiant. Ready? This is risky. Okay. Doesn't want to run. It is getting gas. That's wet. Let's see. How do we start that one? Nope. That is shut all the way too. You gotta remember that. Ready? I'm going to dribble a little bit of fuel into the into there and see if we can get it to go. It actually looks like it's getting gas. I'd sit here and watch that. I want to stick something in there so we can see if it's getting gas or not. Ready? It's getting gas. There is a possibility it might just be too old to run it. It may not be flammable anymore, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, it doesn't smell like varnish. What we might do. Does it have spark still, or did it end up losing it? I wonder. Pull the plug out. I'm wondering if we should just put a new plug in it altogether. Should do. Let's throw the air filter back on it. Maybe it's not. We didn't mess with any of the adjustments, did we, for the carburetor? I don't think we did. But you never know, I guess. I do have an idea for that. The kill switch right there. I'm considering putting a thing back here for me to shut it off with. Same with that tiller, because that one doesn't shut off worth a damn. Let's put it at, I don't like running motors at full throttle, that's the thing, but we really may not have a choice. Well, right about, let's put it in the middle. Ready? Let me drain the gas out of it, I guess, and we'll, actually, it is getting gas, so I know that's good. It is making a noise, but that's probably because it's missing one of the balls. That right there. I almost wonder if that was the whole problem. We're going to put a crimp on there, and I'm going to run it back to right on the thing back here. It'll put a button on it, or a switch. It'll kill it when I don't need it. It's got a squeal to it. I think it needs, maybe because it's, I doubt it's because it's missing those buttons, but you never know. I guess we could go on ahead. Let's pull the, it's getting gas, so I know the pump's good. Let's drain the gas out of it. We'll put fresh gas in it, and we will see if that does it or not. We grab another tank, put it in. Let's go on ahead and drain the gas out of here, and then we'll may end up just pulling the spark plug off of it. The bolt actually turned out to be a 1/2 inch. I was wrong on that one. So let's go on ahead and get it off. Right? Yeah. Hopefully it'll come off. Not be a. Is the whole carburetor gonna come off? I don't want the whole carburetor. I guess. We gotta take the whole carburetor then. Is it really? Well, how do you get the gas tank off? Apparently I didn't watch enough Musty 1 to figure it out. Okay. We'll get this finished and off. And once we get that off, we should be good to go. That is one long bolt. Oh, that's just a spacer. Okay. What am I missing? There we go. Okay, now, remember, what goes where? Just one. Really? That's right, it is just one thing because it's got a self-choking carburetor. There we go. Okay. Let's see how... You know what? I missed a screw. There's a screw right there that I missed. If I'd have gotten that, I probably could have pulled the whole tank off by itself, but then it's got those on there, so couldn't have. Oh well. Huh. I thought for sure that there was a couple of screws on there that held this, but I guess not. Okay, so it still didn't want to come off. Let's see. I think since we have it off, we're just going to go on ahead and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Well, these are bolts. That one under there. We'll have to, there it is. Set it right there. Let's just get all these out of here. Put them up here. We'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, I guess, and we'll clean the carburetor. We might have to. Can't put the tank in there though, but we can put the carburetor in there and just let it soak. I think this one doesn't have a fuel pump, does it? This carburetor does not have a fuel pump. Huh, interesting. The other one did. It does have a thing from the breather though. So I think that might have, I might have a fuel pump, I'm not sure. There we go, we got it. Oh, damn it. What'd I do? Oh, I see. Let's go on ahead, I guess. We dropped that. I'm gonna regret doing this, right? And these right here are your two hoses I was telling you guys about. We'll probably end up using a new gasket. There we go. Yep, like I thought. Okay, so that hose came out, that one won't. And that actually is your float bowl. That right there, as you can see, that's your float bowl. And then here's your carburetor. I'm considering putting it in the ultrasonic cleaner and just letting it go. But it'll bite me in the ass if I don't, but at the same time, it'll bite me in the ass if I do. Let me go on ahead and drain this fuel tank real quick. When I get it drained, I'll be right back. Took the tank up and I blew it out with the compressor. It has no more fuel in it. Well, it doesn't have no more fuel in it. There is still a little bit in it, but it should be alright for what we're gonna do. So, like I was saying before, this is your pickup. Then this one here is what shoots the fuel into the what's it called on there? The float bowl. So yeah, let's put this back together. Oh, where's that? I don't know where the O-ring was supposed to go, but I know it's not where it's supposed to be, so we're gonna have to find out where. Okay. bunch of stuff might have came out, because I think there's supposed to be a spring in there that I'm not seeing. So here's the O-ring. This might actually be the, oh, we don't want to do that. Take this gasket off here and see what's what. Spring. I'm guessing that's the fuel pump. Where's that O-ring supposed to go? Huh. Not a lot under there. Those don't turn. No. I want to try to get everything off of this I can without it going into the motor and ruining it. Not ruining it, but just getting shit in it. Because I don't feel like that's your filter right there, and then that's the filter also for the float bowl. Yeah, I don't think there's any other. Oh, that's your thing that puts it into the. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure how this carburetor works. Let's go ahead and get it put back on the tank. Not sure about this O-ring. I need to find out where it goes before I experiment anymore. Looks like it goes right there. Okay, actually, maybe might go right there. I don't think it does. We'll find out when it leaks. So let's get this thing put back together, I guess. And once we get her put back together, we should be on our way. There we go. Okay. So that's in. Gasket should be okay. If it does leak, then we'll look at it and figure out where and why. I'm going to put fresh gas in it. Still tempted to clean the carburetor. I know it's going to bite me in the ass for not doing it, so we should probably do that. Carburetor is a lot different than I thought it was on this one, though. It's not like the one on that one is. Never worked on one of these carburetors before. Now I can say I have. Okay. These didn't go in there very easy before, did they? Because they're not going in there very easy now. Finish stripped. Should be okay. That one is. Okay. I am going to pull the jets, and I will clean them. I'm going to put them at 1.5 turns. The idle jet and the main jet. I think the main jet. It should be the exact same as that carburetor if I'm correct. This is a little 3.5 horse brakes. That one over there is a 3. But this is a different style motor. This is a vertical shaft. That one's a horizontal. There we go. Okay. Let's get this. Make sure that's not loose. We'll put this on there. There's no gasket or any. There is a gasket in there, but it should be okay. Get this hooked up. Yeah, I want to hold it at one in that. Okay. Hook this piece of linkage back up to my pole. And then, once we get that hooked up, there we go. We should. Oh, where's that spacer? What are the thinking about it? Where is that spacer at? You guys see it anywhere? You observers? Oh, here it is. We'll put some fresh gas in it here in a minute, and we'll see if it if it doesn't kick over. It was getting gas, so I know the fuel pump's good, but when the fuel pump's good, you could possibly have another problem. Let's make sure that moves. Yeah, that moves. Cool. Okay. Kind of reminds me of the older motors. They have a 100-year-old motors. The old carburetors had a different style carburetor. You'd set them, the old hit and miss motors, they had a different carburetor. It was not really a carburetor, it just kind of, you set it at whatever throttle you want it to run and it'll constantly run that, and it'll probably run it the rest of its life. But that reminds me of the way this goes together. One that I had seen. Oh, that's right. That's, what is this one? This is one half. This goes to that. This socket, I think, goes to that. No, this one does. I don't have my socket over here for this. Yeah, I do. Right here. There we go. Okay, let's get that. That's nice, not having to hook up the choke. I really like that. But half inch. Let's go see if we have a half. Perfect. All right. Tell you what though, this tiller will probably outlast any new tiller you'd buy at Lowe's. Not quite sure where this was bought at new. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was bought at Lowe's, but you never know. We'll dump some fuel down the, make sure we've got everything out. Hopefully it'll run right. Let me go ahead and pump some fuel for it, and then we'll try running it. Make sure we've got it. Oh. Got some fresh gas. This is actually two-stroke fuel, but it's the exact same thing. I don't know how long this motor's been setting, so I want to make sure that it get some fuel that'll lubricate it so we know it's not gonna seize. We'll dump a little bit in there just to wake it up and say hello. Let's see if it'll start. Ready? Put this on there so I don't lose it. Oh, we gotta hook this back up to here. I completely forgot about that. Fuel pump won't work. Oh yeah, we can do that. Just take that off. Look at that. This is plastic. This is rubber. Actually, that's metal. This is rubber. I'm guessing this is probably the fuel pump or something in relations to a fuel pump. This ain't a fuel pump, but it's going to be used as a fuel pump. Okay, what the fuck? What is your deal? You may be using the wrong side on it. That could be it. Let's try that. There we go. And we'll throw this end on over here. I don't want to ruin this, but I'm afraid it stays nice for if we can get it in there without killing it. I don't have to get anything in the carburetor either. That would suck. What it is really is I don't want this is air that's from outside that doesn't go through the filter. And I don't want the outside air going into the motor. So they put this little thing on there. It's either for the fuel pump, if something sort of fuel pump, or just on there because. Let's go on ahead and try it. Ready? Doesn't seem to be taking. You heard that, right? Okay, so try not to kill my ears. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the wick needs oiled. I should have done that. And the recoil, something's not right about that recoil. It does run. Need to do something about that so it grounds. I think that's a must because there's no way to kill it unless you physically ground it. There's not a lot of, everything moves metal. Let's go ahead and pull the tins back off and see what's going on with that. It may just need to be oiled. And we can try starting it up again and see if that solves our issue or not. With the recoil though, I don't know. I'm really glad it didn't pull it in and smash it. That would have really sucked. It ran. So we know it runs, that's good. It's got enough compression to run. But I think I'm going to do the same thing with that other one too. We'll put some lubricant in there and I noticed it was making that noise earlier, but it has been sitting for over a year, so it may just need to be lubricated. That one over there hasn't. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long it's sat, but yes, it's only sat for a year. It hasn't sat that long. I read a thing and it said that the one might be from the 60s. I'm not 100% sure on that, but why didn't that recoil? I don't want to pull it out because I don't want the recoil spring to fly. It's not because I don't have the balls in there, it's because the thing is really oiled. Get it out of the realm of the football. There we go. I would say that's about enough. Yep. Let's see if it decides to work now. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have trouble with it quick. Ready? Okay. Alright, then we'll start. Put a little bit of fuel down the carb and see if it decides to kick over or not. What a mess. Let's see. I think we might be able to put it down there. Yeah. Okay, ready? Let's see if it'll fire over on that much. Hopefully it will. It's kind of loose, we may have to. Okay, now it ain't running. I would say crimp this down a little bit and oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Crimp it down in here and see if it fixes this problem that we're having now all of a sudden. Okay. Shit. I wonder. You guys even think it's getting fuel from here? Probably went down into the bowl. Give it a good little drink. There we go. Now it's got fuel in it. Ready? Okay. She's wanting to fight. Whoa. We're shooting. Camera died on me while I was working on it. What happened was, it's shooting fuel out the exhaust. We dumped some fuel down the carburetor, it ran, as you guys heard, and it squealed like a pig. But now it's blowing fuel out the exhaust, so we got to figure out what the deal is with it. I'm going to try putting a new spark plug in it real quick and see if that fixes it. Camera's flashing, so I can't show it. Let me do that. We'll wait for the battery to charge, and then I'll come back. So I'm going to go on ahead and let that other tiller drain. I think it might be flooded, so we're going to go on ahead and come over to this one. This one's got fuel on it. It's starting kind of rough on what it's got in there. It needs new fuel. What I think we're going to do is go on ahead and start messing with the jets. We may end up just pulling this carburetor off. This one's easy to deal with. The other one's not. It needs a new air filter too. I want to see if it'll just turn over or not. See if it'll start. This one actually I think is the best running one so far. That one actually didn't sound bad. Keep in mind though it wasn't idling. I think this fuel might be about ready to be replaced too. Didn't smell bad, but there's a choke. Let's choke it and then try it out. Okay, ready? There we go, it's got to warm up. Okay, ready? Okay. try that. There we go. That one. I think it's just that one. You gotta warm up. Yeah, I think it's just that one, that jet. I don't know where the other jet's at. I'm almost wondering if on that other carburetor I might have missed something. I don't know if they sell rebuild kits for them or not, but put a rebuild on it. Let's see if it'll, I figured out this is your choke. No, it doesn't seem to have another jet other than that one there. So I think that's the only jet. Let's get it started up, see how it runs without the filter. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's, oh, smoke. What is that? Is it flooding? Okay. Let's bring this jet out of turn. See if that, you know what, let's do this. Let's put it in all the way, then we'll bring it out 1.5. Let's see if 1.5 does it. Ready? No. We'll get it running good and then we'll adjust it again. That's just smoking. You gotta remember it is cold. There we go. You gotta remember it is cold too. It's cold hearted. Ready? Let's bring that another time. Let's throttle it up in here. I mean, it is right at stop, so let's see if that. Okay. Well, there we go. That is the original filter. Wow. What a mess. Okay, well, Gonna need a new air filter before we can do anything with it, really. But it idled out pretty damn good once we got the... I'm gonna try doing it with the filter on it. See if we can get it to go any better or not. I don't really know. These rototillers don't see much use during the year. They only get about 5 hours on them. This one's probably got about 20 hours on it in its whole life. So let's go on ahead and try starting it up again. We may end up having to pull the jets out and see how they look. Ready? Yeah. So the throttle's up fine, but it gets up to about RPM and then it falls flat on its face. Let's go ahead and pull the carburetor off of it, I guess, and we'll clean it. We'll probably fire up the ultrasonic cleaner and clean them both. No, that wouldn't be a bad idea, just clean both carburetors at the same time. So let's go ahead and put this in the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll clean it, and then this is the one that shoots it into the float bowl and then takes it back up. It might be that hole that puts it in the float bowl. And then this here is your fuel pump. We're going to have to pull that out of there. We'll pull that out. We'll pull this jet. We'll pull that. I'm not quite sure what this is. I know that. Where's the choke? This is the choke right here. That's your throttle. Doesn't seem very sticky. Everything on here actually seems pretty good, but that goes into the side of the block right there. That's one of the gas tank holding bolts, and then there's another for the mount holds the throttle, which is down here somewhere, judging by that. That's not it. Okay, so what's that go to? I'll have to find out. Alright, so we got everything that we need out. Go on ahead and let the ultrasonic cleaner warm up. We'll pull this apart, put it in there, and then there we go. Okay, so now we are over here at the ultrasonic cleaner. Let's go on ahead and get this pulled apart and put the jets. I actually only think it has one jet. I don't think it has another jet for the fuel mix, or not fuel mix, what did I say earlier? That's the jet right there. You want to pull that O-ring off. Well, oh, it's just a brass O-ring. It's fine. Stick it in our little cup. There's a rubber gasket in here we want to get. See if I can get that out of there real quick. Let you guys watch. And there's a jet down in there. We want to... Oh god, I don't want that in there. There's a jet in there we got to try to get. You know what I need? Let me grab my... I had just remembered I had these dentist tools. Let's get these out. I have never used them before. And I am really interested to see how they do with doing this stuff. Ready? Let's go in there. Oh, there we go. Now we got it. Okay. There we go. We got it. Put this here. That'll probably be the only gasket we end up pulling out of here, except for the... There is no other jet in there. Huh. Oh, we have to pull that nut out of there. That's why. Let's see it down there. Okay, so... Let me get this nut out of here. It's a 1/2 inch if anybody's wondering. Get this pulled out of here real fast. Stick it in the cleaner. God, this is dirty. There we go. There's the main jet. And then go in here. Get this jet out. This is brass like in every other carburetor for anybody who is wondering. So try not to lose it. You could leave it in there if you wanted to, but I don't want any. There we go. I don't want any shit falling in it. And that right there, and then there's another one. No, there's not another one. Okay, and then what's next? There's another jet on here, I thought, but I guess not. Now when this comes out, hopefully it should be nice and clean. We'll pull this gasket out of here too and put it over there with the O-ring. Probably end up grabbing that other carburetor too and pulling it apart. Seeing what puts it together. And then we'll end up putting those back in there and this cover back on there just without the gasket. So we don't end up losing them. And this cover should come off. Make it fly. There we go. Okay, we got it. Be careful. You don't want to ruin your gasket like I did. And right there's your fuel pump. That's your fuel pump gasket as you can see, and then there's a spring right there. Spring isn't under any pressure, so it won't. Oh. Huh. I guess spring's wore out. We'll set it in there and then. Now we've got everything out of it, so we can put this in there. Oh, hold on a minute. We want this. Right? Yeah, we want that out. That. We want this gasket off of here. I could put the gasket in the cleaner, but if I do, it's gonna end up. No, well, let's just leave it on there so we don't end up messing it up and putting it upside down. And we'll put these screws back in here so we remember where they go. This is only aluminum, so be careful. The block's aluminum too, I'm pretty sure. I might be right, I might be wrong on that one. Run in the house and get some hot water. Stick it in there so it heats quicker. Okay, can we lay this down? There we go, look at that. So I will be back when the ultrasonic cleaner is warm and ready. I will be back. She's running. So, ultrasonic cleaner's going. Let's put this on here. Park it outside, see if it'll start back up. Cool, we did something right. The only problem with it is it's running, it's hunting, it seems. Going up and down. Not positive why. But I'm almost wondering, that's stop, then that's slow. We haven't tried anything else yet. Let's see if it'll start back up. Tiller runs, it seems to be fine. Ready? Wouldn't die. This was touching, that came off. It zapped me through my screwdriver. I thought it was wood. I should have grabbed this one over here, it's rubber. Seems like it wants to throttle up for whatever reason. Trying to think of what it could be. I couldn't grab the kill wire, it wouldn't do nothing. So, works. Everything on it seems to work, it's just throttling way too high. So, I know it's not the points. Let's see here. More in. Seems like something's not hooked up right. I almost wondered. And that did end up coming off. Well, we'll remember to grab the rubber screwdriver over there. Ready? Do I want to do I dare? Didn't seem to want to run low. Try it right there. It is firing at least, so that's good. Ran. Let it sit for a minute. The battery needs to charge anyway.
Go ahead, Johnny Long.
Alright, ready?
Should I put this back up?
Well, the camera can't see it. Oh, I got clothes in the house. Let's just do this. Move.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get the books back somewhere out of the way.
Let's see. Well, there's not much water in this one like there was. Oh, this sucks. Ah. What side?
It's in
What side did you use?
the side you're using the other one won't fit in.
This one?
Just use the metal thing, John.
I am.
No, stupid. Red metal thing that's in your cabinet.
Oh my god.
I don't feel safe.
I'm too close. Well, hey, this bar will protect me. Ready? Are you filming? How much PSI is in that right now?
Damn, we have an air compressor.
Pressure washer, all in one.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is the danger zone right here. You know what we should have done?
Oh!
We should have closed the vise on it
Should have
and
got somebody that wasn't scared to keep pumping it.
oh,
Yes, you are. Just wait till it goes boom. You'll be scared as hell.
it's leaking. It's leaking.
That was
Alright, let's do this.
Okay, John. Get your job.
Tighten that and.
You gotta tighten them both. I'm gonna go back here because it's gonna be.
Are you sure? push. Am I on the?
Oh, you're running out of jack.
We're right on the. Oh yeah, I am. We're right on the lid though. Go further. How much further do you think I can go?
I don't know, just keep going.
I'm out. I'm out. Damn.
Hey, release it.
Put it up the thing. Here's the question: is it going to blow up on us while we're bringing it up? Doesn't want to move.
Push it all the way
It
down.
is. How it should
You idiot, you're not supposed to pull that all the way out.
be. Didn't.
Yes, you did.
Now it's not.
John, you broke it. No, really.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Well, unlike you, I don't mess with precedent. It must have had to take a pretty bad piss.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was. Must have had to take a pretty bad piss.
Told you not to take it all the way out, John. Now, where'd the valve go? Did you see where it went, Steven?
I did.
I didn't see it.
What
Expect that, I did not.
Now it's time to do some more immature things. Should we move it back a little bit just in case?
Well, make sure she's still focused.
Oh yeah, I would say it's focused. Shut your mouth. Jack.
Oh, hang on, John. Hang on. Hey guys, remember on the last episode when John blew up the hydraulic jack?
What?
This stupid fuck did it. Freaking dumb Sasquatch. Hang on.
John doesn't never swear.
You know what? We'll do this. Then we'll do one of them full of water. What do you think? All right, ready?
Away we go.
I don't know why you're running away. It ain't gonna shoot you. Well,
You never know.
Water.
Cap might pop off and blow us to bits.
it's got no water in it.
Hang on.
It ain't gonna soak you.
That's point is.
It's not gonna soak you.
This is wrong here, not dumb.
You're pussies. Stand over there while it crushes it
Wish
for
I had a long ass sword I could just snap.
I got it as tight as it would go. Don't, no.
Take off the bottom.
Stab it.
No. John, if you take off the bottom.
Ready?
No, get out of the way.
Move the camera over.
Steven, grab the kid. Piss on the floor. Ready?
Yeah. You're gonna put a hole in it here. Do this. Ready? I'm gonna do it. Let me
You
do
don't- I
it.
need to go from the other way.
Ready? Can I get it?
Just turn it, stupid.
I want it to release all the pressure before it shoots.
Do it quick. You dumbass.
Ready?
Get the hell out of my way. I'm hiding back here.
I'm hiding up here.
Ready?
Yup, go.
Uh-huh. Great job.
Stay protected.
No, I thought you had closing the house, John.
The cleaning lady didn't clean them. Oh wow, that's getting tight. Shut your mouth. What did it do? I didn't see it.
Why'd you have a cardboard there then?
It didn't do much of anything, did it?
What did it do? Where did it shoot?
Right there. See, dummy?
I see. Right here. Let's watch the camera.
Oh, it's still going.
Guys probably noticed that the rototiller is sitting here on the floor. I got the carburetor back on it. The video was already starting to get too long. I had started editing it once I got all the clips into the computer, and it was 2 hours long, so I had to kind of get rid of quite a bit of stuff. I'm gonna go on ahead and end the video here. Thanks you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.